Alrighty, yo. How's it going? We're gonna be doing this painting today, the Enchanted Forest. Or there we go. All right. So always starting off with the brushes that I'm using. I'll be using again. I always have two of every brush. I have two big brushes right here. I have two medium brushes. I actually do have two different medium brushes. So I have a round brush and I have a flat brush. Um, really, it's just preference. And then I do have a fan brush. If you don't have a fan brush for this painting, it's okay. You can always use your round brush. So this guy right here. Or you could use your flat brush. So this one right here. You could use either two to substitute this one right here. And then from there, I do happen to have a couple of liner brushes. So we'll go ahead and get started. So if you notice, I have a black canvas already. Um, if you have a white canvas, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and just black it out. I did it just so that way I could go ahead and get started. And I didn't paint this canvas. It actually came already black. So, like I was saying, I just did it so that way I can move a little bit faster. But as far as having a white canvas, just paint it black and then let it dry, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So with that being said, excuse me, the paints that I'm starting with are the same paints that I usually start with. So don't mind my palette. I had just finished this one. So that's why I got color all over. But I have your regular primary blue, your reds, white, yellow, and black. So I'm going to go ahead and start by just wetting my brush a little bit as far as my big brush. I'm going to load it with white paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do up and down strokes or horizontal strokes right on the middle of this canvas. Now, again, you want to load it with paint because what we're going to do after is we want to be able to blend this with the blue that we're about to make. So if you notice, this canvas is a different size than the example canvas that I have. It's not a big deal. Usually I always have some sort of different size. But you could do this painting for any type of paper, canvas. If you're doing it on wood boards, doesn't really matter. So I'm going a little bit more than halfway as far as bringing down this white. And then I'm going to go ahead and go straight with my dirty brush. And I'm going to take a little bit of blue. Just like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing strokes going up. So again, take the same brush, just a tiny bit of blue, and what it's going to do is going to blend with that white. And all I'm doing is strokes going up. If you feel like it's not blending too well, what you can always do is take again some white and go in there with that. And if you notice, is start doing these different kind of blues in there. Okay. So I'm going to take that same brush and now I'm going to add more blue than what I had. So if you notice, I just had the tip and now I'm like loading it with that blue color. And then same thing, I'm going to go ahead and go over the blue we just added, but I'm going to make it a little bit darker now. And again, I still want it to blend, not too much where it's the same color like how I just did right here, but blend it enough where you could see that gradiency. I'm not sure if y'all could hear the music on y'all's end, but I wanted to integrate a little bit of music. Maybe it's not so quiet. Okay, now again, I always like having two brushes of the same size because what I like to do is I like to go over that area with no paint whatsoever. And that way I could just lift and maybe I'll go the other way actually. Just gonna add a little bit of white so that way that blue goes away. And actually, that's not a bad idea. What I could do is I take that brush and then just drag it down too. But once you go over some blue, you don't want to necessarily go back in with the same brush. You want to clean it. The reason why is because it's going to drag your blue back up to the white right here, and you don't want to do that. But again, what you can do is you can drag that white. So you see what I just did? Drug that blue over there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush. Give me a second here. It does do a beautiful gradiency if you drag it down. Okay, so before paint dries, what I want to do now is I want to make the colors on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and take that blue. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow, not a lot. And the tiniest bit of white. And I'm looking for a teal color. So if it's looking more green, add more blue. If it's getting on the lighter, or I mean on the darker side, and it's too blue for you, then just add a little bit of yellow. But I'm looking for a tealish color. Now you do want to make enough of this color because you're going to cover both sides with this color. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and get that color in there as fast as I can. And like I said, I want to be able to blend it with the colors that we just added. So I just ran out of it. Again, you want to make more than what I just did. But it's not hard to color match. And actually, what I want to do, well, first of all, let me finish this right here. Again, blend the sides. If your paint has already dried, what you could do is you could take a little bit of white on your brush and have the same dirty brush. You could take a little bit of white, and with that white, you can go in there and blend it up. So I'm going to clean my brush a little bit. Now, I don't know if y'all could tell. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for being here. So I don't know if y'all could tell right here, but I don't have this entire thing coated with paint. It's I want that black to show. So I'm not completely doing a heavy layer with this color. I might have to get some more paint right now, actually. I never claimed I was professional, but give me a second here. I'm going to get some more paint. One second. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to take that same color that I just made and add more blue to it. I want to make a darker version of this color. So again, I'm taking that same dirty brush, making a darker version of it by adding more blue. And then same thing, what I did right here when it comes down to the middle, I'm going to go ahead and take that color and go upwards with my brush. And just do upward strokes. I'm not doing it all the way to the top. I'm just doing it on that bottom edge there. We want to show some gradiency. So I don't know if y'all could see it from there. I'll go ahead and try to show it a little bit more. Obviously, the more I do this, the better equipment, that kind of stuff I'll get. I'm also trying to figure out the best setup, but all in due time. So I'm just adding a little bit more green over here Again, I don't want to completely get rid of the black that we added in the back, but I also don't want it too light where I can't see the green. Oh. Hey LD, what's up? Thanks. It's not a waterfall, but I know we talked about it a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna let this dry. But while we let this dry, we're gonna work on the bottom here. So you want to clean your brush. And we're going to take solid black and just create our little border over here. So with that being said, take that same brush, the big brush, after you've cleaned it. You're going to just smother it with black paint. And again, we're going to go ahead and get the landscape in there. Or I'm sorry, that, I'm not really sure what it's called actually. Okay, so now once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and take, if it's a paper towel that you're using or if it's a microfiber cloth or anything like that, I'm just gonna try to dry my brush as much as I can without wetting it. And I'm gonna do circular motions on this edge right here, just so that way I can go ahead and get some shadows. And I'm not doing it where the blue is right here in the middle. I'm just doing it towards the sides. So if you notice, it's kind of what's the word? It's making it soft. It's not so hard of an edge. So I'm softening up the edges right there. And once that's done, now I can go ahead and take that last color that we made for the blue here. Words are hard. Thanks, LD. You get it. We're going to take that same blue, right, that we did towards the bottom over here. And now we're going to go ahead and kind of smooth out a little area down here. So what I mean by that is I'm just going to go ahead and take that same color. And being that there's black on right now, if your black isn't dry, you don't want to do this yet. So I'm probably going to wait because my black isn't dry. But just like how we smoothed out this top area right here, we're going to smooth out a little bit of blue that we used up here down here. And what that's going to do, it's going to be, you're going to be able to see the shadows a lot more as far as your trees. So I am leaving a big gap as far as down here, up here. I'm leaving a gap with that black, just straight black. And again, while that dries, what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. Okay, I think it should be dry. Let's try it. And obviously, you don't have to rush this process. I know some people like to use hair dryers to dry it up to make it a little bit faster, but truthfully, you don't have to do any of that. You could just go ahead and take your time with it. All right, perfect. So now you could see the blue. Well, I'm not really sure if y'all could see it. Oh, it is huge, LD. This is actually my second cup of coffee. And I am gonna have to wait a little bit. Oh, hey Emmett, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. I finished the painting that I actually did for your stream. I put it up on Abe's thing, the painting with Emmett Ross. I put it up, and then I saw my niece today, and I ended up giving it to her. So I don't have it here. Oh man, I hope you feel better. Those are rookie numbers? Okay, gotcha. Hold up. Let me take a big old sip of this. But yeah, Emmett, I'm actually waiting to finish this one. So whenever you're ready, obviously no rush or anything, but whenever you're ready, we could finish that one. Oh, and as I was looking through my supplies, y'all, I found this. I don't know if y'all could read it, but it's from our good old friend. So it's got a lot of cute gay stuff. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, jolly stuff. And the one I picked for today was, give me a second. Every day is a good day when you paint. Emmett, I don't know if you know, but XL3 works good. If you know, you know. All right, let me see if my black over here has dried. I'm sorry, LD. I completely forgot, but I meant in a happy way. I obviously mean it in a happy way. Oh man, I added way too much white. Perfect. Yeah, go get some of that. You'll be fine in no time. Actually, well, because I'm looking at it right now, it still doesn't look dry. So while I wait for that to dry, I wanted to ask, as far as painting streams go, the way I used to do it was through Zoom. So I would do Zoom calls. I'm not sure if you could stream a Zoom call, and that's how I was able to post all my other videos. Um, I'm not sure if anybody would be okay with joining the painting stream, so that way you could show your painting. But let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. If not, like I said, it's fine. I like being able to show folks how easy it is to get really nice pictures. Um, how about this? While we're waiting, I could show y'all. I know I showed LD what I did at iconography class yesterday, but I don't mind showing y'all. Okay, so here it is. Uh, it's Saint Peter. I mean, I'm sorry, Saint Andrew. And this is just a reference. My teacher actually ended up giving me a couple of assignments since we're not going to be in class for the next 3 weeks. So I plan on finishing that one. Um, and honestly, I don't know if you guys would want to watch that because it would be very time consuming as far as that. Hey, Ricky, how are you? Thanks for being here. And my teacher was very happy with my work. He ended up letting me take this one home, and this is a whole book on iconography. I thought it was the coolest thing. Hold up. It's all in Greek, so unfortunately, I don't really understand the words, but it just shows you, and it's just so beautiful. I was looking at it yesterday. Oh, yeah, Google Translate. So, yeah, this whole thing. And then I really like the. Hold up. There we go. The back cover is pretty cool. So if people are interested in watching that, it's very time consuming as far as writing iconography, but I like it. And if people want to watch, I wouldn't mind streaming that. Okay, this should be dry. If it's not, it's going straight to jail. Um, so again, what I'm doing is I'm taking that same blue that I made down here in the bottom, and I'm using that to add a little bit of light source as far as down here. Exactly. You get what I'm saying. I don't think Ricky paints that much, but I know that he's really good as far as painting and digital work. Actually, people should check out Ricky as far as his work. I don't believe you have anything up on your um, YouTube. I'm not sure if you even have any kind of social media that you show your work on, Ricky. But if you do, here actually, I'm gonna do this. If you do, Ricky, you could drop your link. I just made you a mod, and then I made LD a mod as well. And you know what? For the hell of it, if you're still here, Emmett, again, I appreciate you. I'll make you a mod as well. Um, all right, let's go ahead and get back on this. Perfect. Now I can actually see the blue. So again, once I get that blue in, I'm gonna take off the paint that I have on my brush, just dry it as best as I can, and then fluff it out. So I'm doing horizontal strokes for the fluffing right here, just the same way that I added the paint. But I don't want any harsh lines, so I'm just fluffing it out with that same brush. And I'm not sure if this light would actually help. This is usually my detail light, but let's see if it works. If it don't, I'll turn it off. Does that? It actually makes it look worse, doesn't it? I'm not sure if it's helping or not. It is always a trip. For me personally, like if I'm just looking at my painting, this I love this light because I'm able to go ahead and close it up and actually focus on whatever I need to focus on. But as far as a camera, I am such a boomer. All right, I'm gonna leave it down for now. Yeah, I think it's just because the paint is still kind of wet, so maybe it's that shine. Okay. So now from here, we're gonna go ahead and wash our brush. And I actually brought a second cup of water in case my water got really dirty. Oops. So I'm gonna wash my brush. And now we're gonna work on the trees. So you could do your trees with either the medium brush. Again, for the medium brush, I actually have two kinds of brushes. So I have a round brush, which is this one, and then I have a flat brush, which is this guy right here. So you could do it with either or. Truthfully, I want to go ahead and get my thick brushes out of the way. So I like using my big brush, and then I just use it horizontally as opposed to, I use it vertically as opposed to horizontal. The dyslexia is real today. All All right, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and load, excuse me, load my big brush, or again, your medium brush, whichever one, with black. It's just straight black. And trees, just like anything in nature, doesn't have a structure. So my trees on this painting are not going to look the same as this painting right here. So it's just all about the flow. You know, you want more than one tree or three trees, it really doesn't matter. And I kind of just let my hand do its thing. I don't necessarily have a way to go about it. Just let it do its thing. But I am adding a couple of big, thick trees over here on the left side. I'm not sure if it's on the left side on the camera, but definitely my left side. Yeah, angry little trees. Well, they don't have to be angry. If you want to go ahead and do a couple of, happy ones, whichever one floats your boat. So I'm just cleaning my brush right now so that way I can have good brush etiquette. But I'm going to switch over to my medium brush. I might just do my round brush here. The reason why I like using a round brush is because, well, first of all, let me load it with paint. If you notice with a round brush, it's got the thickness of a big brush if you push it down, but it's also got that pointy edge. There you go. It's also got that pointy edge, so then that way, if you lift your brush, it'll go ahead and give you, smaller strokes. So, what is it called? What I mean by that is, let's say, for example, down here, I want to push my brush so that way I could get that thickness. And then as I keep going up, I'm going to slowly but surely release that pressure off my brush to make those thin lines. And I'll go back in there to add more to my tree. But essentially, with the round brush, you could go ahead and have the best of both worlds. You don't have to go from between brushes. If you feel like your paint is too thick, always add just the tiniest bit of water to get that consistency right. I don't like having really thick paint on my brush, especially when I'm doing trees, because I want it to flow really easily. Oh, hey Freer, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Thanks, guys. No, but Emmett is Emmett Ross. Even though I have the initials for Bob Ross, I don't want to do that. I'll eventually find a name or something that I can call my channel instead of just doing it my regular name. Anyway, let's pick a couple more. And truthfully, I don't care if my tree does that thing where it kind of breaks. I really don't care. The reason why is because I'm going to go over all these areas with a bunch of different shades of green to make the leaves. And sometimes by having it break like that, what it shows, it could show almost like a dimension. Um it shows a little bit of dimension to your tree as opposed to being a flat tree. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my big brush right here. Remember how we kind of rounded out these edges down here? We're going to go ahead and just round out those edges that I have on the tree down here. I don't want it to be just a really thick line. So I'm going to round out those edges. Again, I'm just doing it off to the sides. I'm not touching this middle part right here. Hey, K2, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Oh, Emmett, you're amazing. As far as your art, it's awesome. I wish I could do anything digitally. I have styluses, I have the stuff. I don't have any programs, but I know that Paint actually just updated their software as far as being able to use it for artistic purposes. And I can't do anything digitally. So props to you. Hey, Mojo, appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our, excuse me. Let's start with our tiny branches. Now, again, you can add as much detail as you want to this painting. You don't necessarily have to follow what I'm doing here. I'm going to take my liner brush. And again, you could do any kind. I have a little longer one here. And I mean, I'm sorry, this one is a longer one and then a shorter one. All right. I haven't made food, but I will. I was thinking about it. I talked about it yesterday about doing a cooking stream. Um, so I'm thinking about either making like the perfect Mexican rice for my first one. Or I don't know. I guess I'm known for burritos, so maybe making a whole burrito. That actually would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, so I'm gonna take my liner brush and then the same thing that I'm doing. All right, what I did with the actual trees, I'm just going ahead and loading it up with black, and then I'm gonna start adding a couple of branches to these trees. So again, I don't really care as far as how. I don't know if y'all could see that right there. I don't really care as far as how many branches you add or how you get it done. I'm going to probably stretch this one out, push it in, make it a little thicker. But the whole idea is just to have fun with your painting. Get used to having your brush in your hand. I used to shake a lot when I first started painting. And truthfully, even with iconography right now, my hand tends to shake a lot. And don't be scared to bring out your branches out here to this area. Let's get some color in here. Now I do have some smaller trees. Usually the farther things are, the smaller it looks. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's the only like hockey thing I got. Um you know what, Ferrer? That's actually a good idea. Painting with burrito. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, hold up. There's no goys around here. Um anyway, I'm gonna take my liner brush and I'm gonna make those small trees kind of in between where all my other trees are at. I don't care if they go over each other. And that's the nice thing about loading your brush with the right consistency of paint. You can keep going as far as these and without having to load it consistently. Like I have this crooked little tree over here. If you want to break the branches a little bit thicker for the bigger trees towards the front, again, just push your brush in. This is actually funny to me, and the only reason why is because I'm trying to unlearn that for iconography. Um, but for this, perfect. If you push your brush in, it's gonna go ahead and create that thickness. And if you lift your brush, it's gonna go ahead and do that nice little thin branches. You know what? Yes, Ricky, we're taking a hike to the Overlook Hotel. Great movie. And again, you can take as much time as you want with this as far as the branches. You could be as detailed as you want. Yes, it is a better book. Paint Jason. All right, all right. Eventually, we'll get to those type of paintings. Um, I know that I actually want to do a couple of ideas as far as Halloween. I don't know if people are okay with painting Halloween stuff not during Halloween. But I used to teach Nightmare Before Christmas one, and it was like a Vincent Van Gogh style. I really like it. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that one. I wouldn't mind doing that one at all. It's got a lot of pretty colors. Oh, that's okay, Ricky. You can always go ahead and use any kind of materials. It doesn't necessarily have to be a canvas. It doesn't have to be the size that I'm using. For example, I actually just went to the store and I bought a big book of mixed media paper. So then that way, no way, Chris is ending his stream already. That's not very like him. Um, what I was saying is, as far as materials, you don't have to use what I'm using. You could use, look, I have these just for my niece, but you could use crayons, you could use color pencils, you can use anything you want, markers. It doesn't have to be paint, it could just be anything you have available. So that way, especially if the kiddos are doing this and you don't want paint all over the place, give them a marker, give them some crayons, give them something, and they're still going to be able to do this. I would love to see, the different paintings of mixed media, especially like if it's something you don't see every day. Like for example, gouache painting, watercolors. Watercolors would be really pretty with this. What is it called? Oil pastels. Oil pastels are really nice. Um, all right, let me stop talking here. Let me just add a couple more branches, and then we'll get to the leaves. And that's pretty much the painting. It's very simple, very attainable as far as getting your picture to look really pretty. So while my black over here dries as far as my branches, I'll go ahead and start doing my colors for the leaves. Okay. Oh, thanks, Summit. Yeah, I gave it to my niece, and she. No, you're fine. You're fine. I respect the grift. The grift is something that I'm never gonna, you know, talk shit about. I respect that painting to my niece, and she hugged the painting, and then maybe 5 seconds, she threw it on the floor. uh, all right. So, okay, yeah, we'll make our paint for. I'm not sure what's going on down there. Are you? I hope not. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that same color that I've made for both the top part and the bottom part of this green area or this teal area. Don't give him an L. We'll just thanks for being here, Mojo. And the reason I want to make both colors at the same time is because I'm sure y'all have noticed, with some paintings, you'll well, I'm not sure if y'all. It looks like they have two colors on the brush at the same time. That's what we're trying to achieve today. So I'm going to make actually a lot of this. And then give me a second. I run out of blue. So again, what I'm doing is I'm making both the colors that I have down on the teal side. So I'm making a regular teal and then a darker teal. And once I have those two colors, I'm also going to make a very light teal. So all I'm going to do is take my regular teal and add white to it to make a light teal, like this. I don't know if y'all can see that. Actually, that looks more green. Let me add a little bit more blue. Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for being here, y'all. Okay, so again, I have that darker blue that I have towards the bottom here, towards the bottom of the painting. I have a regular teal, which I had towards the upper part of the painting. And then I'm going to take that same teal and I'm just going to add white to it. And it's going to make a lighter teal. I might want to take some more of that regular teal and add it if I added way too much white, which I did. But it's always easy to fix your colors. Just add what you had before. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more blue so that way it can lighten up because I definitely added way too much white. So now it's like a muted blue. Again, same thing. Same colors that I used to make the teal. Just going to add a little bit more yellow. And it'll make a lighter version. So these are my, besides this right here, these are my three colors. It's a darker blue, a regular teal, and a lighter teal. And I'm actually going to add a little bit more blue to this so that way it doesn't look as green. Oh, hey, Bentalk. Thank you so much. All right, perfect. So I got all my three colors and I also have white. So being that I started with I did the light teal at the end. I have that in my brush. I don't necessarily want to clean my brush after making this color. It's already loaded in there. So I might as well. That's funny, Ricky. Well, you find your paint. This stream is obviously going to be up. So that way you can always go back and do it on your own. They don't understand what I want for Christmas. But all my brothers jolly. So, brother, Merry Christmas. All right. So, now what I'm going to do, I don't know if y'all could see it actually. Give me 1 second. Hold up. Okay. Do y'all see how I still have the teal on my brush, but now I have a corner of that white? Don't worry about this back here. It's this right here. My brush is loaded with paint, but that little corner of the white, we're going to use that corner towards the inside of this space right here to make our leaves. So again, we have a loaded brush with that regular, the light teal. And then we have a corner of that white. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to use that towards the bottom and towards the edge of this painting. So if you're using a flat brush, you can go ahead and have it like that. I do personally like to use the fan brush, but I'm going to show you guys how you could do it with the flat brush. Sorry, my brush is a little loose. All right, I need to put tape on this, but I'll do that later. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and basically, and I'm going to show you right here on my hand. I'm going to push that brush. And you see how it does that? You see the white, you see the teal, and it mixes together. I hope y'all can see that. But that's basically, oh, ooh. It almost fell in the painting. All right, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm only going to do it towards the edge of this painting. Or I'm sorry, towards this edge of right here. And again, your leaves don't have to be a certain shape. In fact, you should get very loose at this point with this step right here. So I'm going to switch over to my fan brush. And again, I'm going to load it with that teal. And I'm going to add an edge of the white. And the reason why I like this brush better is because it just gives you the shape of leaves automatically. You don't really have to do much as far as shaping wise goes. So I don't know if y'all could tell, but I'm thinking about it too hard, and I shouldn't. I shouldn't be thinking about it. I should just let my brush go, kind of like a blind man. The only thing I should be thinking about is where it's actually landing as far as on the canvas. I don't want it anywhere up here towards the top, and I don't want it anywhere down here. But other than that, you know what I'm saying. I'm also not going all the way down. Okay, so now that we got that, I'm going to take that regular teal that we made. Are we really talking about that? Y'all. Okay. So I'm going to take that regular teal. And now what I want to do is I want to take that light teal and add it to my corner of my brush. So if y'all could see that. Got that light teal and you got that darker teal. And now I'm going to go crazy. Now I really want to add this in. And I want to add it in pretty much everywhere. Yo, what's up, John? Thanks for being here. So, as I was saying, now I'm gonna just keep doing that with the regular teal and the light teal, and I'm just gonna go all over the place. It doesn't matter if it gets over here on the white side, or I mean towards the middle area. Again, you kind of just want to get this one all over. You want to have spacing in between, obviously. You don't necessarily want to cover the entire thing. Wait, who's drawing vegetables? I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. Can anybody in chat let me know if you can actually hear music? I've been playing music this entire time, but can you let me know if you can actually hear it? Oh, nice. Awesome. I'm seeing now I use too much red when blue is the obvious shade. Okay, sorry. Now what I'm doing is I'm sorry. Once I'm done adding those tiny leaves on there, I don't know if y'all could see that. What I did is I took that regular teal. Where's my regular teal? Here we go. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm adding a corner of this darkest teal here. And I'm going to do that more towards the top. And definitely get your corners. But if you notice, it's going to start doing that gradiency even on the tree. Yes, W vegetables. Eat your vegetables, you guys. They're not that gay. I mean, they're not bad for you. They're really good for you. But you'll notice that gradiency going through your trees as well. Same thing that we have going on towards the background. We're going to be having that with our trees as well. If you, for any reason, can't see the color that you're putting down, you can always make it just a tiny bit darker. The tiniest bit darker. Excuse me. And you know what? I'm not really happy with the amount of white gradiency that I have going down there. So I'm going to add a little bit more. I want some shine, you know? We have a light source right in the middle. We want some shine. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white and go in with my regular teal, not my light teal, my regular teal. And slowly but surely add that shine back in. Okay, Ricky, although I agree with you as far as the steak tastes better with some sort of vegetable on the side, like potatoes. Okay, so I don't know if y'all could see that. I'll close it up as much as I can. Oh yeah, steak and asparagus is really good. Oh no, I bet it looks awesome, John. All right, y'all are something else. Okay, let's move over. But no, don't worry about like adding color to the tree. In fact, you know what you can do? You could take that dark teal that we made, and this is just an experiment right now. But what you can do is you can use that for shadowing, or even not shadowing, I'm sorry, using it as a light source on your tree. So actually, I don't know if you could see that, but I'm using my flat brush for this. Hold up. Let me see. I don't know if y'all be able to tell. I don't think y'all could tell. I definitely need a better light source here. But you could use that dark teal to add like a shade on your tree. But you could do it with any color. It doesn't necessarily have to be teal. If you want to do a red forest, do the same thing that we did as far as process wise, just with red. You know what I mean? So you'll have pink leaves and stuff like that. You can even do like a what is it called? Like this kind of hue, alizarin crimson. So it's like a darkerish red. I actually just bought a bunch of paint so I could start on my icon over here. Hey, thanks, Mike, for being here. Appreciate it. So while this dries at the top, now we're gonna go ahead and take. You could do it with any brush, really. But personally, what I want to do. Okay, I really need to tape this one together. You could do it with a liner brush, the one that we just used to do the branches and stuff like that. You could use that one. That's fine. Or what you can do is take. Trying to find a big, thick, fat brush. Hold up. something like this. So it's something like this. So it's a flat brush, but it's tiny. So we're gonna save this for the next thing that we're gonna do. But before we move on to that, what we want to do is we want to take our fan brush or flat brush, this guy, whichever one. You could do it with both of them. And we're going to take that dark blue that we made, or I'm sorry, that dark teal. We're going to take that dark teal, load our brush with it, and see, I'm just reading y'all. K2, thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. We're gonna load our brush with that dark teal, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and actually take maybe just the tiniest bit of that light teal, if I have any still. When I don't mix enough, my paint tends to dry on my palette. Anyway, so I have just the tiniest bit of that light teal, and I loaded it with that dark color. No, John, we're not doing anything like that, all right? But thanks for being here if you're leaving. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and add our light source to this bottom area right here. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna drag it down here. I don't care about getting those like ripples. Wait, what spider? What are we talking about here? We're gonna go on an angle, and the closer we get towards one side, we're gonna do shorter strokes. Oh my god. All right. So again, we're going to do shorter strokes the farther we go towards the right. We're doing this on an angle. Okay, so that's for the middle right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here, but in between these brushes. I mean, brushes, trees. So again, I'm going to load my brush with that dark teal, but I'm going to add a little bit of that lighter teal. And I'm going on that angle in between the trees. Since I have another tree over here, I might as well just go ahead and do another one down here. All right. And this is why I say to make more than what you need. I need all of these colors, and unfortunately, I didn't make enough. So I'm going to make some more. So again, you want to do a medium teal, a darker teal, a light teal. Excuse me. Okay, so from there, I'm gonna take my flat brush. Sorry, take my flat brush here, and now I'm just gonna do horizontal strokes going across that area that we just went over as far as the light source. And these are gonna be our leaves. And I'm doing horizontal strokes pretty much everywhere. It doesn't matter, um, how many you add. The idea is to just get a couple in there of each color. So that way they can overlap. And you get that illusion that these are just the leaves that are falling from the trees. So once I'm done with one color, I'll go in with another color. So again, it doesn't matter if they overlap or not. In fact, you might want it to overlap so that way it doesn't look too, I don't know, weird. Okay. So now I'm going in with my darker color. So again, thanks everybody for being here. I really appreciate y'all. You could do as much as you'd like with this painting. And that's it. If you want to add more, hold up. If you want to add more like leaves towards off the side, I see I have some of that going on over here. By all means, again, take control of your painting. Don't let me tell you what to do with your painting. I'm just trying to give you the idea so that way you can flow with it and do whatever you want. America. So obviously, I'll leave it up for a little bit. There we go. I'll leave it up for a little bit so that way y'all could see. But I do hope that y'all like these streams enough so that way I can actually get on a schedule as far as doing it. I think the last time I did a painting stream was maybe over a week ago. And I get in my head a lot about them because I'm not really sure if people like them or not. But if you do, let me know. I'm happy to do this regardless. I'm over here wanting to add more just because. So, again, you can always do whatever you want as far as these paintings. Excuse me. I rewatched one of the videos that I did years ago that I uploaded, and it's true. Your hands look like this, so your painting can look like this. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate it. I think for next painting, I want to do like a desert scape. So actually, how about this? The first 5 colors that I see, I'm gonna write down, and I'll do it for the. Oh, Chris is here. I'm so sorry. I didn't even see. I'm so sorry, Chris. Thank you so much for being here. First 5 colors that I see, I'll use them for a desert scape. I just need to get writing paper. Okay, so I see red. Purple, cool. Green is interesting, but I'm sure I can try to make it work. Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much, Crucible. Appreciate it. Crucible Crusader. Thank you so much. I'm still missing two more colors. So I got red, purple, and green. Please, somebody say orange or yellow. Yes, that nighttime. Yeah, we need a little bit of orange and yellows or something. Maybe a little magenta. I don't know. All right, Ricky. I appreciate it. Make the Amazon van driver lost in the desert. Oh, that sounds hilarious. That sounds pretty funny. Um Alrighty, so I got red, purple, green, orange, and yellow. Vanta black. Interesting. You know, we could use that as the like a shadow for sure. So again, I'll leave it up just for a little bit so that way y'all could see it. Um but again, thank you so much everybody. I really do appreciate it. And again, for those who haven't yeah, see magenta. Nice. For those who didn't get to see it from the beginning of the stream, this is the stuff that I'm working on as far as iconography class. So hopefully I get good soon, so that way I can start banging out commissions for this kind of stuff. I'm really excited to be doing this. Um, I just went to the store and bought all the paints that I need. So as far as what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be working on that, so that way I can get better. It's all about practice. So obviously your painting's not going to look like mine if you've never painted before, but all in due time you'll be able to get to a point where you feel comfortable enough to hold a brush and not be scared of what goes on your canvas. So again, thank you so much, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I'll probably go back and hang out with Chris for a little bit, but I really appreciate y'all. And yeah, I'll go over there right now. No, okay, I'll go hang out with Chris. Like I said, thank you so much, y'all. No, yeah, you're right, Ben. Unfortunately, I don't have any. Like, I used to have the blackest black of all blacks. And it was great, especially like, hold up. So, I used to do a lot of collaborations with my friends, and one of them was this guy. And I don't know if you can notice it, Bintok, but this is the blackest of all blacks. It's so dark, it doesn't even shine. Yes, it is H.H. Holmes. But if you, I'm just talking about the color. I'm not talking about the actual painting. It's not my painting. Actually, I don't know if my friend Lucian has a YouTube, but I know he has an Instagram. But that's the black that I'm talking about. I don't have this anymore. I wish I did. Yeah, I wish I still had it, but I don't. Hey, Chris, did you already end your stream? Oh, Lord. I'm so sorry. I'm just about to end mine right here. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. I would have, well, I don't know how to raid somebody, but I would have done a get a raid for sure. Um, I'm so sorry. I thought you were still going. I was just about to end it. This class was actually a little bit, I didn't take very much. Okay, he's still streaming. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here, everybody. What are we doing? Get out of here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, y'all. Get out of here. Scram.